Well, here we are. It's Tuesday night. We're talking about lesson 7. It's easier to win, which I think is an interesting title. But it's all about environment and how do we place ourselves and create fertile environments for us to win. So with that, I'll kick off wins. Speaking of wins, Lisa, restate your win for the recording, please.
I spent the past week in Washington, D.C. because they had a half marathon last weekend. And so I ran the half marathon and just spent about a week with some friends. We got an Airbnb in Arlington and did some sightseeing and went to the zoo and saw some exhibits. And it was the first time that I saw the cherry trees blossom. And, I read some history about that, how they were gifted by Tokyo, as a token of friendship, and it's such a great visit. I mean, the whole thing, the entire week was a win. So
congratulations. That's huge. And I see Laura's joining us. Kathy, do you have a win for the week? I feel like it's been so long since I've seen you guys. That's my
I know it. Let's see. Well, I'm getting over the flu. I swear, this has been the hardest thing to get over. And then the cough that lingers for weeks. And so I'm on the mend. Nice. And I feel that's a big win. That's and it's interesting, Lisa. When I lived in Washington, D.C., they asked me to be the cherry blossom princess from California.
Wow, that's awesome.
So I was. It was really special. The whole week we went to the Japanese embassy. We rode in a car down Constitution Avenue, and they had one person from each state.
Wow, that is really cool.
Was the parade did you see the parade or the?
No, the parade it was all scheduled for later this month.
Oh, okay.
But everything is blooming so early. And so now they're like, what are we going to do?
I love it.
Yeah.
That's great. That's great. And Joni and Laura are here. Laura, you're next on my screen, and then we'll get to Joni. Laura, do you have a win? And then Joni, after Laura's done, Joni, jump in.
Yeah, my win is that I think since the last time we talked, we've made an arrangement with both Weber State and IHC. We're all going to be working together to do a paper on.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah. So I'm excited about that. Still the process is in place. We're starting to receive students. The Weber State, the staff is all going to pay for their own. They can't believe how inexpensive it is. And I'm thinking, yeah, it's inexpensive. More money. So it is, that's my win. And
That's
I'm out
huge.
of bed today.
That
I'm out
is
of bed.
huge.
So
Yeah.
that's good.
That is so huge. Congratulations, Laura. And this has just taken on a life of its own, right? Like, just isn't that magical when you open yourself up, like new opportunities, new possibilities come?
I'm just so grateful that you taught me how to respond to peaceful inspiration. The when, that's what I'm struggling with.
Okay.
I want it
We can
now.
talk about that. We can talk we can talk about that now. Well, let's talk about it now since you're so impatient.
No, don't let me do that. I'm good.
Well,
Sorry, Laura,
don't let
do you
me
mean the win as in WHEN?
Don't let me forget to talk about patience, manifestation, etc. Joni Vincent, you're up, Miss.
But wait, sorry, I had a question for Laura. When you said talk about the win, you mean WHEN, when, not like win, WIN, like when it's going to happen.
I've had plenty of wins, tons of wins.
Okay.
But to see my $40,000 a month goal is not. I thought it was going to happen. I really did. It's done. It's going to happen in January, and we're in March, and I'm like, where is it?
Yeah. I feel you, sister, because I thought my high vibration coffee was gonna.
Well, we'll talk about all of that, but let's put a pin in that and don't let me forget, please. Joni, Miss St. Thomas, how are you doing?
Well, first of all, I just want my first win is how gorgeous my hair looks.
Okay.
I'm teasing. I know. I'm getting a haircut on Thursday. I'm in bad trouble, but anyway, it doesn't matter. Um, I I shared with Peggy the other day that I kind of catapulted myself back into what could have been a tumultuous, chaotic vibration. And my win is that I have managed to, amongst all of that, just maintain my vibration and just keep my just I said probably a few weeks ago, focus is my word, and that's what I'm doing. So lots to do, lots of improvement, but I'm just staying focused and staying high vibe
Okay.
in an
Very
environment that's
good.
not necessarily conducive to that.
Yeah, well, good news. We're going to be talking about environment to this week. So we'll have time to think about this consciously and talk about it. But I love the wins. Kathy, just keep visualizing yourself well.
I
You know,
will.
I know, and we're going to talk about this patience business right now while it's top of mind. In my experience, Laura, and everyone here, because I think I can certainly relate to that. It's been a minute. Where is it? Kind of feeling, right? Like I've been wanting this for a long time. And here's what I have come to believe. And it's multifaceted, but I'll start with the following. I do believe when we ask, it's given. You know, that's everywhere in the material we read and Neville's work. You know, the power of awareness, he says it very clearly. He quotes the Bible, you know, creation is finished. It's really a matter of being a resonant match to what it is you've created. And for a long time, I thought that being a resonant match vibrationally to what it is that I've created in my heart and in your hearts, etc., that was a lot of hard work. I now want you to think about it this way. What if it's here, it's looking for you, it's seeking you, it's already created, it's seeking you, and all we have to do is drop the resistance to being a vibrational match to it. Chew on that for a minute. Think about it. What if your 40,000 a month is already here? And it's like, hey, Laura, and the only thing is, through no fault of your own, it's programming, it's beliefs, it's old patterns, it's old paradigms, but through no fault of your own, you think there's something wrong, or you think there's something you should be doing, or something more you should be doing, or something wrong with what you're doing because it's not here. And you're busy in that vibrational loop when the 40,000 a month is over here saying, hey, Laura, here's your 40K. And you're like, no, busy over here. Actually, you're not even saying no. You're just like, here, heads down. What if?
Okay. What if?
What if? As Trevor used to say, wouldn't it be nice?
That's a little hard for me to grasp.
Okay.
I'm not grasping it quite. I understand the resistance. I understand. I love the idea that it's already here
It's
and
seeking you.
that I'm looking away. I'm just and I so I'm looking away by worrying. And what if I'm not, what if I can honestly say that I have been more positive than worry? Now I remember what you said that Bob said, fine, you want to worry, it's like stopping your steps or taking a step backwards. So stop and then get forward to take longer.
Yeah.
So zero worry, just pure faith.
Right.
That's what okay. Well, that's easy.
Well, and here's the thing. It's so interesting because in my TIR group, I have a couple of, one client I'm thinking of. And the challenge there is trying to get rid of the negative thinking. And I'm like, that's just digging the hole deeper. Trying to get rid of anything, trying to resist, trying to push away, trying not to feel. All of that just puts more, it becomes more dense. It becomes more real. The more we talk about it, the more we think about it. Oh, I've got this negative paradigm. Oh, I've got to stop doing this. The real secret, I believe, to this is to be sure to be thinking about, and I'm going to go a step further, and not only thinking about, but most importantly, feeling the feeling of the 40,000 a month here.
Okay, all right, I'm
And
with you.
yeah, do you see what I'm saying?
I am, and I'm thinking, okay, so tomorrow I'm doing a thing on the work, right? With
Yep.
Dan's group.
Yep.
And I'm thinking how I've had to mesh these two things together in my life. And if something is really negative, then I think I need to maybe not focus on it for a moment in the work so that I can release it and let it go, and then it blossoms into something more beautiful. It blossoms into acceptance. So
Yeah.
I think rather than, I mean, I now have grasped and accepted that affirmations are so powerful and that they work.
Good.
But when they don't, when I have the persistent fear, then I
Right.
think to identify the fear and do a worksheet on it, even though that's paying attention to it, can I just ignore it? And then
Yeah.
if that's the case, then I don't need the work, and nobody needs the work of Byron Katie. It just doesn't. But I think there's a place, and I'm not trying to protect either one. I'm just trying to figure out how to work.
Yeah.
How to.
Well, here,
And I
and
know that I'm working.
yeah, and here's what I'll say. I've been thinking about this too in the context, and I hope this is helpful for everyone here. As it comes to manifestation, I do believe that we create our conscious, let's back it up a minute and pull the lens back. If we are thinking of images, if we're creating images of things we want, so let's say you experience something you don't want, and the law of polarity gives you, if something's really, really bad, there's an equal measure of opportunity and goodness that already exists, because we do believe in the law of polarity, up, down, in, out, hot, cold, etc. So if you're experiencing something really bad, there has to be an equal measure of goodness in it, right? So there's that, number one. But I do believe our consciousness creates our reality. Our thoughts, which ultimately turn to our feelings, projects out what we're thinking and feeling about. That's pretty basic top line stuff that we're dealing with here. But here's the thing. If your affirmations aren't resonating, or if you feel like I've been wanting this thing for a long time, I do believe, back to your point about the work, that writing it out 100 times can actually not only not be helpful, it can kind of drive the screw a little tighter in that.
No, yeah, you don't do that. That's not
Yeah.
what you do.
Right.
So no.
But that was previously, that's Bob's approach. And I think that does work for some people. But I think this is a really important experiment that I would like you all to do. I really do believe that the feeling of the wish fulfilled, enjoying it vibrationally, and this is what I wanted to go back to. Laura, you can enjoy the vibrational essence of 40,000 a month right here, right now. You can close your eyes, and we'll do this in today's call if we have enough time. But I want you to have this experience. I did it yesterday with my TIR group, and it was amazing. Thinking of it in our heads is one thing. because that's where the building of the image happens. Like, gee, wouldn't it be nice if, oh, I would really love 40K a month. Oh, I'd really love 100K a month. Oh, I'd really love 10 new clients a month, effortlessly and easily. That's in your head. But what we have to do is cultivate the feeling of it, connecting up to the feeling of it as if it already is happening in your today reality. Now, what makes that hard? The fact that we can see, hear, smell, taste, and touch. Look at this. Would you look at this? This is the thing. This is the deal, right? This is. So the more we keep looking at and experiencing vibrationally the essence of what is, the more that creates resistance and impatience to what is already here, what's seeking us, what's coming, what's been already created. And the sooner we can sync it up with the feeling of it, the sooner it will come. That is my firmly held belief.
With a movie, I don't have any fear. It's going to happen. It's just a matter of when. It's a completely different thing. So
Right.
again, I have a paradigm with money that I need to.
And
that
money,
this-
most of us do. It's like money's outside the law of gravity. It's completely contained inside of this.
May I ask a distinguishing question?
Sure. Of course. What is it?
He went away.
Joni, we can't hear you.
Sorry, okay, thank you. There might be a delay. So it's for Laura as much as for Peggy and Laura together. So when you say you have a paradigm around money, so is it, because I'm struggling with the same thing, which is why I'm asking, is it, you have a paradigm around money, therefore the business is not producing, or you have a paradigm about the level of success with the business, therefore my impression is, Laura, you don't have a paradigm around money, but only as it relates to this business. And that's how I feel, but maybe I'm wrong. And I'm asking because I feel like it could help both of us.
For me, I have what comes so easily and effortlessly to me is to help people.
Mhm.
What doesn't come easily and effortlessly to me is taking their money for it.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's not making money, it's taking money for service, because I don't think you have a paradigm around having money and feeling comfortable with money. Is that correct?
Do I love money? Do I like to be able to spend money? Is that what you're asking me? Am I comfortable
No.
in this home that's
Well,
Yeah, I
Joni,
guess,
let me,
yes.
Joni, let me jump in here because I think the answer, let me just jump in and say, the answer, regardless of whether the paradigm and the belief is always, think about it this way. When we ask for something, it's given. We have this desire. We've co-created something with the universe. You all remember the video that Bob did, right? About the creative process. That is always 24/7 happening. And the dominant thing that's being created is that belief system that's in your subconscious programming. Keep that in mind. Your conscious mind is very powerful when used to create new images, to follow your intuition, to shift your perception, to create new paradigms, to redirect the programming in the subconscious mind. That's where the subconscious mind comes in. But in the end of the day, your habitual ways of thinking, feeling, and behaving, and also that sets up your vibration, your attractor pattern, that ultimately will be producing the results you get. I think, and Joni, the only reason I'm jumping in here is I think it's easy to try to analyze on an intellectual basis what's happening. And what I'm trying to do here is really simplify what's happening. If you're not earning 40,000 a month, it's because you don't see yourself. It could be a self-image problem where you don't see yourself as being worthy of that in terms of the value you're providing or taking people's money. So I would say build your self-image. See yourself as a person. You know, Laura, you and I both know, because I know your business so well, I'm a client, what you provide far exceeds the value of the cash payment that people are paying you, in my humble opinion. You know, but that's for you to build that image of yourself to be garnering more money. Now, that's not the only place that money can come from. You know, we don't want to tell the universe how. You could win the lottery. You could, who knows what could happen. But I think all roads lead back to building a belief system and a feeling, most importantly, a feeling of already having that which you desire. Because when you do that, you are absolutely making yourself a magnetic vibrational match to that which you want. So regardless, Joni, of whether it's from your childhood or because you don't think you're worthy, and I'm not saying any of those things, I'm not trying to minimize any of that. That's a real thing. I totally get that. I have that in my paradigm too. You know, there's people doing exactly the same teaching I'm doing. I mean, obviously everybody's different, but they're charging 10 times as much. Bob used to charge $150,000 for 6 months of thinking into results. Think about that. I could have 10 clients and call it a day, you know, like, because he had that belief system and he knew that what he was teaching was gold. And therefore, having built that identity, having built that feeling subconsciously, he, in fact, started to attract that and get speaking engagements and write books. And because, you know, he set that image in his mind, I'm going to operate a business that operates all over the world and transforms people's lives. And he just kept operating with that image that he created in his mind. And most importantly, the feeling of it already fulfilled. And I'm emphasizing this because it's so important to feel the feeling of it. Does that make sense, Joni?
It, yes. And
Well, what's your question about your own situation?
I'm trying to understand the distinction between so
What do you want more
maybe
of that? What do you want more of that you're not getting?
I guess I'll be specific and anecdotal. Once upon a time, I made plenty of money. I never, ever worried about making money. I never had a paradigm about making money. My issue, my whatever was I spent it as fast as I made it, or I spent more than I made it because I never had any issue with making
Right,
it. And I guess
right.
I'm asking, you know, in the context where Laura and I were kind of, you know, Laura was saying she had a paradigm with money. I have a paradigm with money, clearly, but my question was more about the distinction. Maybe I'm just thinking out loud, Peggy. Does it matter if it's Laura's version of making money because you're taking it from someone when you're trying to be of service versus me, like not having an issue around making money, but maybe I don't feel worthy of keeping it. I don't know. I guess I'm asking what that distinction is, and does it even matter, to your point about simplifying, you know?
Yeah, I think, I mean, my really strong sense, Joni, is that the important thing here is to simplify this because it's so intellectually heady. It's
Right.
easy to get very wrapped up in it on a conscious level. And what we really want to do is strip it down and make it simple, easy, and straightforward. You know, we
And
want to.
I have a question, Peggy.
Okay.
Just real quick, just real quick. So I know that I believe I'm supposed to help people because I'm doing it. I'm helping lots of people and things are happening and I'm helping people and that keeps on happening and programs show up and the universe hands me ways to act on that. So it's not even an issue to me. I help people. That's what I do.
Right.
There's no question about it. How do I get to, I make money from that. That's just what I do.
Yeah. Why don't you and I have a offline conversation
Okay.
about this? Because I want to do one-on-one coaching with everybody here. I know it's been a minute. Thank you. I forgot to say this at the beginning. Thank you all for your grace last week. I'm so grateful and so appreciative. I will be happy to help. I think what I'm trying to get to here is a high level understanding that when we form a concept of something we want, which is that video that Bob did on the creative process, we have higher intellectual faculties, right? Our dogs don't sit here and think, geez, I would love to create a dog shelter for my fellow human dog or dog people. You know, they don't have that capacity yet. Maybe Faith does, but you know, but the concept here, the basics is this: we have to shift our thinking, the whole creative process. Everything you need to know, Laura, is on that frequency. And Bob used to say, there is a place, like your goal of 40,000 is up here, and wherever you are in your income is down here. And he'd say, it's not about forcing it to happen. It's about elevating your consciousness to be thinking thoughts of someone who is earning 40,000 a month. So then the question is, you know, and back to Joni's point, at some point, Joni, I believe for you and for all of us, what happens is we ask and it's given. We have a desire, but then that's where it ends, sort of neck up or conscious mind up. Then what's really happening is we're looking at what's really happening now, what's in our current now reality. And that is the thing that has all of our attention. That's the thing that we're giving all of our concern to. That's the thing that's fascinating us. We can see, hear, smell, taste, and touch. Our current reality dominates our existence. And then we try to analyze it, and then we feel shame, and then we feel blame. What the freak? You know, why was it that I was making X 10 years ago and now I'm doing this, or my marriage didn't work, or I had health and now I don't have health. I mean, we have to bring ourselves back to very simply saying, what do I want? Oh, I want to start making 40 a month. Oh, I want to start making 100 a month. Oh, I want to start making $1 million a month. Whatever the X is, okay, let's call X the goal, the desire, the intention here. Whatever that is, you have to devote your vibrational life to it, because it is vibrationally as real as your current lived reality, except on the physical plane. And quantum physics is showing us, and like that book, Transurfing, there are indications and science that's starting to point to the fact that a version of your life that you want, with everything you want in it, exists vibrationally, and it will manifest to and through you when you connect up with that vibrationally, because the universe, God, the quantum field, does not know if what vibrationally you're matching to is being generated from what you're seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, and touching, or if it's being generated from your imagination and your will. So the universe does not distinguish between crazy, wild dreams of things you would love. It didn't distinguish between the Wright brothers' desire to create a plane or the people who were saying it couldn't happen. Those people who kept saying it couldn't happen, it was never going to happen for them, because that's where their vibration was. I'm trying to drive home the point here that feeling is not nice to have. It is everything. It's everything.
How do you do that?
Yeah. And we're gonna, I want to hear from Kathy and Lisa and Joni. I'll talk to you again. I'll talk to all of you offline about this, but I want to hear from Kathy.
Yes.
What do you think about all this? Where are you on all of this? Manifesting your goals, moving towards your goals? Are you feeling like you're progressing? Are you feeling a little stuck?
You know, I forgot one of my wins was, I taught my first class online and did the video for, yay, I finally did it.
That's
And
not a
now-
small yay. That's a
I know, I totally
woo.
forgot that. And I got 2 more clients. So,
Oh,
I
by the way,
guess, uh, I, I, I put my wish out there
right,
and just let it kind of come. I believe in it. And everything seems to show up. I
right.
don't know, but yeah, I've been at this like you, Peggy, for 5 years and doing a lot of reading and classes with Bob. I was on the phone with him 3 times a week. So I get it. I really do.
Yeah, and I think the thing that you said about letting go,
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm projecting that, but that's something for people who haven't been in this for 5 years. I truly believe when we let go in faith that we have a very tight lane to be in. And that lane is this. Am I thinking beautiful thoughts? Am I using that lavender energy that can be anything, any shape, form, right? The formless substance, right, Lisa? Right? It's completely pure positive energy. It literally can be molded into the most beautiful things. Am I putting a beautiful mold in my conscious mind with my higher faculties? Am I imagining the worst or the best? Am I using my past to beat myself up? Or am I in the present future and imagining an incredible future? Hey, I did this before.
Right.
Not only can I do it again, I'm going to do it twice as well. Like, I still have that in me. So are you on a conscious level putting that mold together of the shape of this beautiful lavender energy that you want it to be against all the odds, against everything that you can see, hear, smell, taste, and touch, against everybody's good opinion, against the probabilities of it ever happening, right? You have nothing to do but just use those higher faculties to create the image of what you would love. And you can think rationally. What would I love? What would I love? That's all Phil asked me. What do you want? What do you want? What do you want? What do you want? Are you fixed on what you want? And then the second piece of that is use your will to really get emotionally involved in the feeling of your desire fulfilled. How much time during the day are we devoting? Hopefully AM and PM, for sure, right? You lay down at night, you visualize what you want, and you don't just keep it in your conscious mind. I think this is where a lot of us slow things down. If you can, with childlike faith, just accept it, just accept it, just accept it. It's here, it's coming. It's here, it's coming. I'll know what to do when I need to know what to do. I'm always connected to the source of everything. Guidance flies into me like, the air I breathe. I always know the next right step to take. Then when we're in that feeling of it, like, oh my gosh, 2 beautiful things happen. Laura, you don't have to have a change in any of your circumstances, and you can enjoy the vibrational equivalent of it right here and right now. Because we want things because we think it's going to make us feel better. Start the feeling of feeling better, and the thing you want will come faster.
Because it's here.
It's already here. It's here. Peggy McCall, I've told you this story before. She is a master. She's masterful at this, She just sees it. She feels it. She lives it. It's here. It's happening. So that gives her the ease to walk in faith, to just say, next step, next positive step, next positive step, thinking of new ideas, thinking of ways, being guided. So much so that when she gets the New York Times bestseller, thing, a little award, it's like, no, a little anticlimactic because she's
Right.
already been milking the enjoyment of it. So it does two things. That's what'll speed up your attraction, right? Because what's happening is you're in the flow. You've put the GPS into the system. Maxwell Maltz's book, Psycho-Cybernetics, is brilliant on this one from a psychological perspective. Like, you've put the GPS into the system, and now just let it go, right? But the second thing that's really beautiful, and I think somewhat underrated, is you get to feel the joy that you're hoping to feel when the thing manifests. You get to feel it right here and right now. And to me, feeling better, what's better than that? Right?
Absolutely.
Is this making sense? And there's something that, and Joni, I see your hands up. I'll get to you in a minute, hon. And there's something that happens when you flip into that vibrational energy of the goal achieved, of it's already here, it's already done. I think the worry, fear, and doubt drop away on their own naturally. It's not that we're fighting the worry, fear, and doubt. It's that we're replacing it with faith based in knowledge of who we are, what we're made of, what we're capable of. That's just us. Forget about this power that's created everything around us and things we can't even see. That makes us look, what we can do is great. But what that power, whatever that represents to you, whether it's the quantum field, God, the universe, whatever that is to you, that has infinite capacity. Let that power in, walk in faith, ask for help, know that it's here, know that it's coming. And when you're in that vibration, guess what? You'll be like, pew, pew, pew. Ideas are coming in, and thoughts are coming in, and people are coming to you, and coincidences are happening. And, positive things are happening, like all of a sudden, it's not this slog. Because we're trying to create, as Abraham Hicks would say, from outside the vortex. If you're trying to create, I'll reframe it. If you're trying to create from down here where you are currently, and your goal is up here vibrationally, you are literally on different levels of frequencies. If you're down here trying to brute force it, good luck. That's just more of the same. What I'm saying is elevate vibrationally up to the level of what you desire, and then be open to creative solutions, and then be open to guidance. Joni, I see your hand up.
So maybe it's off topic, and if it is, we can talk about it another time or one-on-one. But
Yeah.
I guess I'm thinking in terms of, what do you want, as you said, and that was really helpful, Peggy, to just kind of simplify it that way and bring it back down to those terms. What if I really want to help Laura's cause? Like, what if I really believe, like, and I'll say this because in the last 10 days, there have been 2 scenarios where I've said to my sister, oh my gosh, you have to meet this person, Laura Warburton, and what she's doing. And I feel like I'm like almost as though I'm manifesting for Laura, and I feel like I have such a connection to what she's doing, and I can feel more her 40K doubled than I can my own scenario.
Yeah.
And so I guess my question is more around a collective, what do you want, a collective vibration? I don't know. I'm not articulating it properly, but it's all
Right.
coming up right now. And maybe
Yeah.
I need to think it through more before I ask the question, but I'm kind of,
Yeah. Well, here's what I would say. The first order of business always is to be in alignment with yourself and taking care of
Mhm.
yourself. And that sounds selfish. But there are times, and Joni, I'll say this, see if this fits, where we take care of others. And I'm not saying that in the context of this situation with Laura. I'm saying the most important thing we can do is always be in alignment with who we are and what we want.
and
And
if we are, is it possible that then we give from our overflow, to quote Peter
right,
Sage?
right. So we always have to be in alignment with what we want. That's always the first line of business. If we're trying to fill ourselves up by doing things for other people, causes, places, things, if you're inspired to do that, that's great. But the most important thing here is for you to be in alignment with what you want. And the only way to answer that question is to ask yourself, am I in alignment with what I truly, really, honestly want? We had a lesson a few lessons ago about being honest with ourselves. Am I really living
Right.
true to myself? Am I living in the bigness of my goals? Am I really giving it everything I've got? And if you don't, if the answer, I know my friend who formerly worked at PGI at Procter Gallagher, Arash, he used to ask himself at night before he went to bed, how did I do today? Did I achieve the level of greatness of my inner being? And if he felt he did, great. And if not, he just noted what he would do differently the next day. And so I think that can be perceived as pushing it, but if you have a desire to help someone, that's fine. But Joni, in your case, knowing you the way I do, I would suggest you focus on helping yourself, which is going to feel like you're pegging the meter in the other direction of selfishness. And you're doing that. I see you doing that now, and that's really great. But the point of all of this is that we need to really think about constantly being connected to what it is we want on an emotional level. This is, I think, the next level for everyone here. Kathy, do you have a question about that?
No, it's
Okay.
absolutely true though.
Yeah. And what I'm trying to describe here is a little amorphous, and it does dovetail into the environment that we're in. And we'll talk for a minute about this lesson 7. Have you guys been listening at all to lesson 7? And Joni, I'll talk more with you offline about that. A little bit.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Lisa, have you been able to listen to lesson 7?
I haven't yet.
No
sorry.
worries. It's Tuesday. We're going to work on this week. But I want you to think about what he talks about in here is consciously creating an environment of growth, of achievement, of what I would say is alignment. I think the next level of this work is about getting into the emotional feeling of it, getting into your intuition, right? That we need to say, what does it feel like? And spend time in the feeling of our goals and our dreams and our intentions achieved with the full faith and knowledge. I truly believe this, that they're not something out there in the future beyond us. I believe we've already co-created them, that we have called them into reality, and they're now seeking us. They're now seeking out us. They're now looking for us.
Mhm.
But how do they look for us? Vibrationally. That's the signature. That's the address. That's the GPS. And how do we elevate that emotional signature, that vibrational signature? I would say if you're feeling resistance, if you're feeling impatience, and I feel all of that off and on as in my human mortality, the thing to do is to reach for a better feeling thought. So Laura, maybe it is, I've done this before. Money has flowed through into me before. I've created amazing things before. I create amazing value for people. God has a plan. I'm here to be the vessel and the vehicle for the plan. But how can we soften it to reach for a better feeling? And we'll talk more about that in the coming weeks. But I really want you all to think about, when you think about what you want, am I thinking about the absence of it, or am I feeling the presence of it's already here? Can I feel the closeness to it? Can I feel the proximity to it? And there's an exercise you can do when you feel this stickiness with your goals. You can say, am I thinking about only what I want? This is what Phil has mastered. Now, is he perfect? No, it's not about perfection. It's about progress. It's about, moving in a certain direction. Am I feeling the essence of what I want when my wish is fulfilled? Well, if you're not, then get on it. The easiest way to do this is to practice that feeling in the easy moments when you're not having a battlefield promotion, right? That's why it's so important to just daily, little by little, morning and night, have that image, have that feeling, right? We'll do an exercise for just 5 minutes. And I think you'll see it, because words don't teach. This experience will teach. So I want you to do this. I want you to put down whatever's in your hand. Get comfortable in your chair. Oh my God. Sorry. My friends have a landline. Okay. Sorry. Okay. So just I think we've been thinking a lot. Let's let that go. Let's just take some breaths. Oh, all right. And just let your energy go. Let it flow, let it flow, let every cell in your body just relax. Let your shoulders relax. And as you're relaxing, think of one thing you would really love. Don't think too much, just one thing. What pops into your head? What would you love? What's something you'd really love? It doesn't have to be a big thing, a small thing. It can just be anything. One thing. Okay, now get an image of what that is, like see it. If it's money, see it in your bank account. You don't have to know how, it's here. If it's clients, if it's a relationship, if it's a business, if it's health, whatever it is, just pick one thing. I know there's many things to choose from, but just pick one thing. And now feel the energy of your heart space. Feel the heat there. Breathe into that space. Be grateful that your heart just pumps and everything's good, everything's fine. And just relax. And now feel the feeling that you will have, that you are having, now that that wish is fulfilled, now that that one thing you would love. Feel how it would feel to have that, to be that, to experience it. And breathe that into your heart center. And look around. and see what's happening. But most of all, feel the feeling of it. And ask yourself, how does it feel? Do you feel secure? Do you feel at peace? Do you feel happy? Do you feel relieved? Relief? Do you feel empowered that you've created this, that you've called this into existence? Do you feel connected to Source, to God? And just breathe it in and let it go. Do you feel grateful? Do you feel joyful? Do you feel aligned? What words would you feel? What is the feeling? Hmm. And as you start to feel comfortable, come back into the space, into the meeting, into the room. Just take your time, but hold the essence of that feeling in your heart, right? As much as you can, just stay there, stay in your heart. So, and Joni, I see your hands up. So what I want to hear for everyone, what was that? What did that feel like? Just briefly, what were you able to connect to your heart?
Yeah, that was amazing. And by the way, Peg, you have a great guided meditation voice. It just
Thank
it's
you.
very, very calming. No, that was really amazing.
So could
Really
you,
good.
what did that feel like for you, Lisa? What was the one of the emotions that came to you?
Two of them. And then you said them as I was thinking about it, peaceful and secure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Mhm.
right. How about you, Kathy?
Yes, what I was wishing for, I possessed, and it was here. I owned it. It was right here with me.
Right,
It's just a matter of time. It's going to be right here.
right. And it can be right here, right now.
Yes.
That took 5
Exactly.
minutes. I mean,
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
was 5 minutes. If you spent an hour a day in the feeling, if you spent 10 minutes in the morning when you first woke up, right? If you set that vibrational signal out, at least for 5 or 10 minutes when you first wake up, and then again at night when your conscious is handing off to the subconscious, which is
Mhm.
connected to everything. Again, 5-10 minutes, that's 20 minutes a day. Bob spent 85 to 90% of his day, of his 24-hour day, in that imagined feeling of his wish fulfilled. And that was the jumping off point. That was his springboard. That was the platform from which he moved, excuse me, each and every day.
Does it get easier? Like that kind of took a little bit of effort.
Yes,
And
it
yeah,
does. It does. 100% it does. It's a mental muscle. It's your will. It's the use of your will to hold that intention, that image, and to hold yourself in that space. So listening to books, listening to metaphysical and mindset stuff is really, really good. That raises our awareness. But the work to do is to create our own version of the new reality and to live in that feeling of it, right? It absolutely, it's a mental muscle, Lisa. It gets easier. It gets much, much easier. It's like any habit that we practice, right?
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. So that's my challenge to you is to practice between now and Thursday. Just, maybe set a timer. It doesn't, you can do it in your car. I wouldn't shut your eyes, obviously, but you can do it while you're driving because you're not really thinking about other things. You can do it while you're folding laundry. You can be like, oh, these are my Pratisi sheets or my Frette linens or my, but the thing is too, and I don't want to introduce a new concept. We're going to talk about this Thursday. Right now, what I want you to practice is just feeling it and seeing what happens. And if you're feeling it and there's no pressure, it's not here yet, it's not coming. It's just in your subconscious mind, it only can accept what is planted in it. Absolutely can only accept it. That's why people like John Paul Mitchell, who was sleeping on park benches, is now a billionaire. He created a line of hair care, among other things. He kept being in the fantasy of it and then stepped out in alignment with that. And we'll not to talk about that right now. But Joni, how was that for you?
Sorry, I was trying to switch off mute. Um, to be honest, I think it kind of just quieted my mind for a minute. To be honest, I realized while we were going through that process that I was just kind of bouncing off the walls prior to that, and I joined the call because I'm missing that daily environment that I had in Utah of Zen and spirituality.
Yeah.
And we haven't been together as a group for a week. I think I didn't even realize it, but I was like this untrained puppy on the call tonight. My mind was going in 1,000 different directions, and wanting to soak it all in and ask questions. And so for me, it was just grounding. So thank you.
Good.
And
Laura?
I'm sorry if I was
No,
disruptive.
no apologies. No worries. I'm holding the space. So that's on me. Laura, how was that for you?
It's good. The storm has me really tired, so I
Yeah.
actually fell asleep somewhat.
Good.
But that's good because as you're talking, it's going directly in, and that's probably really good right now.
Yeah.
So I can get my frontal cortex out of the way.
Yeah.
I'm walking away with a renewed ability to I'm a very visual person, so I can see a magnet. I can see myself as a magnet rising up to that goal and that vibration. And I'm
Mhm.
just going to attract it. What else do I have to do? I'm just going to give it a go. Let's go with that.
It's a grand experiment. Let's use it as such.
Yeah.
And we're going to talk about, I want you all to listen to this and to go through the worksheets.
Mhm.
A little bit of this is a bit, I won't say antiquated. I mean, this one's talking about people in the 50s earning, I don't know, $26,000 a year. That's a little bit hard to relate to, but I think the bigger picture here, I want to set us up for the next call. The bigger picture here in lesson 7 is, as we grow, are we growing our environment with us? Are we creating a fertile life for the dreams that we want? Meaning, we'll talk more about this on Thursday, but are we connecting with people and having conversations and putting ourselves in environments that really serve us? I have found in the past, I've tried to bring everybody along with me and, fix up the current garden patch. And it's not to say you should jettison all your friends and family. That's not the point here. But the point is, in addition to the people that we love who really aren't interested in what we're doing and they don't kind of get it, are we nurturing new relationships, new connections, new environments for ourselves that foster our growth and support the growth that we're having? So that's really the context that I think about in this lesson 7. But my challenge to you between now and Thursday, and it should be simple, I'm not going to say it's easy, but I'm going to set the intention that it's easy, is be more like a little 2-year-old kid in their feelings and pay attention to how are you feeling, particularly when you're thinking about wanted and unwanted things. Am I more focused? I can guarantee you, if you're not feeling great about a situation, you are definitely focused on the unwanted end of the stick. And if you are, gradually start to reach for a better feeling and reach for a better feeling. Well, you know what? I've survived 100% of my life so far. Well, you know what? I've gotten in and out of everything that I've ever gotten into. Well, you know what? I've done some amazing things in my life that I completely forgot about. Well, you know what? I actually am really cool. Like, you know what? I mean, I applied to be a speaker through Cara at UVU. And I was writing out my bio. I'm like, damn, I am hot shit. Like it was like, but we don't walk around thinking that. We often walk around thinking the worst of ourselves because of whatever current negative circumstance we're experiencing. That is not great for so many reasons. So start elevating the way you feel. And you don't have to have a reason to do it. It doesn't have to be super intellectual. It's just be feeling good. Just be expecting positive things. I manifested a parking spot in Manhattan around a hospital where there are 0 parking spots. Wouldn't it be nice if I said, please help me out here. I'm going to play with it. What would I love? I was feeling anxious and tense. I was getting Natasha out of the hospital. I could pay $40 for the valet for 10 minutes or, which wasn't the end of the world, but it was like, wouldn't it be nice if, dear universe, I could have a parking spot? And lo and behold, literally not even half a block from her hospital, a beautiful, huge, gigantic, big enough for my ex-husband's giant Tesla parking spot opened up. Like it was like I burst into tears because I knew it was my prayer answered. I knew it. It was not a coincidence. There were no other spots. But I just held it like a little bird in my hand, like not too tight, but not too like a feeling of, oh my gosh, wouldn't it be nice if, oh, I would just so love that. It would be just so fabulous. Bam. There it was. So play with those things. Wake up. If you have something that you're not feeling it, reach for a more positive feeling about it. And if you just can't shake it, put that stick down and pick up a stick in the pile. Like, my dog is amazing, or my children are amazing, or my health is amazing, or my clients are amazing, or celebrate a win. Like, Kathy, well played, my friend. I know this has been on your goal list for a long time, and it's happening. And it can just be that easy. But I think we put manifesting into the hard work, hustle, and grind bucket. And I want to take it out of that because not only is it not fun, but I think we're working at cross purposes with our manifestation goals here. Okay. So play with the energy, play with the feeling, play with the satisfaction, the fulfillment. It's already here. I don't have to hustle. I don't have to grind. I just have to enjoy the vibrational equivalent of it. That's all. Try it for
Okay.
48 hours and we'll talk
will.
on Thursday morning.
Okay.
Okay? And we're also going to talk about this, people. So listen to this. We're going to talk about it.
Okay,
You guys, thank you for your patience and your
thank
input.
you.
Yeah.
Thank you, thank you.
And listen, I'm going to put up tomorrow by end of day, I'll put my calendar link into the WhatsApp chat. I'll be back
Okay.
in Thursday night and then I'll have time next week as well. Okay?
Okay,
Coming
perfect.
back Thursday? Are you
Awesome.
coming back on Thursday?
Thursday night.
Yay, you're coming home. Okay, good.
Hang on,
Bye-bye.
you guys.
Bye-bye.